All right, everyone, welcome back to YouTube. I am talking about so I wanted to pair this up with last week's episode and when we're talking about average and the difference between average and high performers. And I really wanted to jump into this because the fact that I'll be honest right now, as I heard this on Star Talk with Dr. Neil Tyson and Chuck Nice and Neil deGrasse Tyson. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about how if you're not moving forward, you're always moving backwards. And he was talking this obviously in more relation to the universe and astrophysics and everything else that has to do with that. But the reason why he was saying that is because the level of inflation and growth every day in the universe is constantly happening. So if you aren't moving forward with that progress and inflation, right, and that growth, then there is no level of stagnation because it's always moving away from you. So your only option is to be moving backwards. And I thought about this long and hard because I thought that this was a great conversational piece, especially for YouTube. I wanted to jump on and talk about how in life, if we're not moving forward, we are moving backwards. There is no stagnation, there is no maintenance, because the maintenance is always going to be behind the level of growth and inflation around you within life, right? So everything is in progress, everything is moving forward in life for you, regardless of whether you want to acknowledge it. Everything around you is moving forward in life. And so if you're just maintaining, you're actually not maintaining. You're actually moving backward because everything is moving away from you. So as we think about this, how can we improve our position in life by following up with the fact that we need to just take one step every day? Now, this is a simpler way of saying it, is you just need to make an action. And this is where they talk about how if you're 1% better than yesterday, then at the end of the year, you're 365% better than the day that you started at the beginning of the year. So at the end of the year, you're obviously 365% better, right? What I've said this before. I really love it, but on the same token, like, how is it measurable? Like, what's 1% better? I don't even know. But what I can say is that, like, when you look at your life, so whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's developing as an individual, whether it's being better in your relationships, whether it's being better um, in your work, there are levels of progress that you can make every single day. And that one step forward every single day may look like reading an article on the profession that you're in. Maybe it's writing a piece of content if you're a social media influencer, whether it's maybe it's adding on a link to your website, or adding on a sub page to your website that you've been wanting to do that's going to expand your business, right? So whatever it is, all of these things are playing into that progress forward, that step forward every single day. But you have to look at what's going to get you there. It's got to be one thing. It can't just be maintenance. Like, if I just maintain my content for you guys, that is not setting me forward in progress. That's actually setting me back, right? Because everything's moving away from me. So I have to be doing something that's also expanding my business in areas I'm not currently in, which, again, some days that looks like 20% better, and some days that looks like 1% better. Some days that's just starting that sub page on your web page, or some days that's finishing that and then also writing 7 blogs. Like, who fucking knows? Like, there's all kinds of levels of progress that equal different percentages, but you need to look at something every day that's just making progress for you. So if you're not moving forward, you're always moving backward. Now, there is no stagnation. I want to double tap this right now. There is no stagnation. There is no maintenance. It does not exist. You're always going to be getting surpassed. You're always going to be moving behind if you aren't moving forward. I really truly believe this. I had a lot of time to sit with this when I heard it on Dr. Tyson's episode, and it made me look at the way that I handle my business. It made me look at the way that I live my life. And it's like, okay, where am I saying that maintenance is good? Where am I saying that right now, if I can just maintain, that's good? Because at the end of the day, that maintenance is just causing me to go backward. So I have to be doing something more there. And in that honesty, in that self-reflection, I came up with my own answers that I know are going to be impactful as soon as I begin to implement them into my day into my days every day, writing down something that is going to progress me and not just maintain, right? And that's what you get to do. You get the same opportunity, because stagnation, again, is going to be you moving backward. Now, when you do one step every day, I wanted to pair this up with last week's episode on YouTube, because when you do one step every day, what does that equal? Consistency, right? It's just you're compounding interest on progress. That's all you're doing. And if it's one step every single day, just one step, right? So it's nothing major, it's just little steps every single day. When you look back, that is going to turn into high performance. You're going, whether it's a year, whether it's 5 years, whether it's 10 years, you're going to reach levels of high performance if you stay consistent in the same direction. I promise you. It inevitably happens. There's no such thing as an overnight success. They're just people who constantly made one step in progress every single day. They didn't sit in stagnation. They didn't sit there and say that, oh, they just had to maintain. They made one step forward every single day. And eventually that compounding interest on that progress created what everybody else thought was an overnight success. But to them, it was years of consistency. That's all we're doing, man. Like, literally, I can't tell you how many people are in areas of success that just, there literally is nothing special about them. There's just not. And I don't say that to be negative or mean. I'm just saying that there's just not anything special about them. But what was special about them, the one thing that was just their ability to persevere and consistently take steps forward, that compiled and compounded into the success that you see in those people. That's it. That is fucking it. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's not like they had some ability that was far surpassing anybody else in the world. There's just not. What it was consistency with that step forward. So if you hold anything from this episode, if you want to remember one thing from this episode, just remember that if you're not moving forward, you're always moving backward, because everything around you is expanding. Everything, society, social media, the universe in general, our life, people's development, other people who are in the same field as you of business, of work in general. If you're not an entrepreneur, like other people in there, they are progressing. Somebody in there is doing it. And so your world is always moving away from you. And to keep up is not to maintain. To keep up is to step forward and have progress every single day. Find out what that looks like to you. I don't have that answer for you. I have to search for that answer for myself every single day. But when you start finding that answer out, what it looks like every day, start planning your day around that. If I can get this one thing done, that is my step forward every day. And you plan that out on a weekly basis. This week, the big step forward, or the big thing that needs to get done, is this. So underneath that, what are the sub steps that you get to take that you can do on a daily basis to achieve that goal every week? When we start compartmentalizing and breaking this stuff down to bite-sized pieces, it makes us stop thinking about the overall outcome, which is like where you want to be for the person that you're looking up to, or the position you're looking up to, or the levels of achievement that you're looking to. It stops you from looking at the big picture, because at the end of the day, that tends to be very detrimental. That's the thing that stops you from doing stuff. The reason why is because when you take an action and you don't see that result, you end up getting negative about yourself, and you start getting negative about the mission. But when you compartmentalize it and you break it down into those bite-sized pieces, now progress is inevitable. Now compounding interest is inevitable. And now the achievement is going to be inevitable, so long as you stay consistent on the bite-sized pieces. I'm not giving you guys some novel concept here. This is just simply me reframing some form of mindset that tells you every day counts, and just a little bit every day is a big step in the cosmic view of everything in your life, in the experience of your life. So just challenge yourself to see what that looks like, see how you can put this on a weekly basis as a larger goal, and then sub goals every single day that are just bite-sized pieces to get to that bigger goal every week. And then you can even move that to have a theme for the month, and then a theme for every 6 months, and then a theme, or you can even go quarter, 6 months, and then year. Like if you can start building that out to construct it on where you want to be and start breaking that down into bite-sized pieces, you're going to start seeing success at levels you've never seen, and you're going to see it rapidly. I say all this because I know what it looks like. I've been on both sides of it, and I constantly am putting myself in positions in which I have to challenge myself to do these same practices. So live your life that way. Start seeing this in a way that you can improve every single day, and don't just maintain. Maintenance is the ultimate connection to average, and maintenance is really moving backward. All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you guys haven't, make sure you go take a look at Design the Man Within. It's my new debut book that released on May 16th. Really, really excited about it and very happy. Go ahead, check it out. Go to Amazon.com or Barnes and Nobles or Target and go take a look and grab the book. Get it for yourself, get it for your improvement. If you're a woman, make sure you get it even to understand men. And then also, if you want to toss it out to your partner, that is probably going to be very helpful. But Design the Man Within has been a passion of mine to have created. I'm humbled to have done it, and to see the amount of people that it's already helped fuels me and brings a fire to my heart to want to continue to give more. So appreciate all of you guys who have bought Design the Man Within. If you haven't, make sure you go grab Design the Man Within. And as always, I'll see you guys next week.